everyone. Steve here with Viking Central, and I'm at an airport right now. I'm in the lounge, but kickoff's about to happen, and want to give you some quick thoughts that are unfiltered. And I'm making sure meeting as well on my long jet lag flight. So, as we talk through some of the things I want to go through with the Vikings game. If you have any questions, please make sure that you put them in comments. I want to go over any questions you have and really just kind of dig into some quick thoughts I had in the game. I've been gone the last week trying to push out what I can. But again, I'm excited for kickoff. I know you are. We've been waiting all year for it. And I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. That's Badass Wood Art. Make sure that you use our code VC15 to get 15% off at checkout. And then, of course, Homage up in the corner. Make sure that you use our link. That's one way that you can support Brett and I and Viking Central and everyone here is to make sure that you use those codes and at the same time get discounts as well. Now, let's just go ahead and dig into it. JJ McCarthy, he's coming into today's game. Of course, we know that JJ has to have at least somewhat of a solid, consistent game to where he started off training camp, struggled a little bit, but lately he's come on strong. But what he needs to really do is come out there and show that he can be consistent. He can feather in those passes in the short and intermediate distance and needs to quiet the media doubters. So we heard from Diana Rossini, who had, really just a comment saying that JJ McCarthy wasn't what it wasn't reality and that the Vikings organization was propping him up. I really don't think that there's anything to that. I haven't heard anyone else that's covering the Vikings directly that actually covers the team saying anything like that. You've heard nothing but positive things, not only from his teammates, but the coaches, and then, of course, what we've seen on the field. So I don't really think that you can put too much into what Diana Rossini is reporting into that, but then also Colin Cowherd. He's been very vocal all this offseason, just being that JJ McCarthy hater. So what he said is that JJ McCarthy doesn't have the arm distance. Now we've seen videos, whether it be on X or wherever that's been posted, showing that JJ McCarthy has been making those long bomb passes, several of them going to Jordan Addison. But he's also shown off that long arm distance where we've even seen a video of him on X throwing upwards to almost 80 yards. So he's got the arm strength. He's shown all through training camp that he has the ability to really not fastball, but really lay it in there nice for our receivers on those long ball passes. So he's not only shown that he got the arm strength, but he's also shown that he's got the accuracy. So that's what we want to continue to see from JJ. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see JJ throw a long ball, but what he really needs to work on is those short intermediate throws. We've also seen impressive timing and anticipation coming from JJ McCarthy. And one thing I really liked on some of the videos from training camp that we've seen with JJ is that he's not throwing to his first read all the time. You're seeing him look off different receivers and he's trying to find the open guy, and he's doing it at least in a timely manner to get rid of the ball to where he's not taking all those sacks. Now that's another thing we want to see tonight with live action tackling actually going on, is that JJ McCarthy can sit in the pocket, go through his reads, read the defense, and make the throws and not take the sacks that we saw with Sam Darnold. Not make bad decision plays where they result in an interception. And again, just make the smart decision and throw away the ball or take off if you need to. So we want to make sure that he quiets the media. I'm tired of hearing the Diana Rossini reports and tired of hearing of Colin Cowherd saying he doesn't have an arm when he's absolutely shown that he does. So that's one thing that we want to see. And again, we don't have all of the starters that will be playing today, but we might see quite a few starters playing, including JJ McCarthy, for at least a series or two. Okay, so with that, no Justin Jefferson today, but I do think that we'll see some Jordan Addison just because he's going to have that 3-game suspension. And with the receiver group, one of the big questions that we've had is, Jalen Naylor, we talked about it, and Brett talked about it in his video that he had yesterday as well too. Jalen Naylor kind of having, some drop problems here and there. Who is going to really step up with Jordan Addison, in with Jalen Naylor having to step in for Jordan Addison the first 3 games, and hopefully we have a healthy Justin Jefferson. But who's going to step up and be that number 3, number 4 receiver, and then who's going to make the team? So if we take a look at the wide receiver group that we have, we know Justin Jefferson, we know we're going to have Jordan Addison, we know we're going to have Jalen Naylor, and then on the fourth receiver, because we drafted him high, we know we're going to have Ty Felton. Now, that doesn't mean Ty Felton is our wide receiver 4 going into the season. He certainly has not shown that in training camp. But wide receiver 5 and 6 is really open. That could be Rondale Moore, but again, coming back from an injury, we haven't seen a bunch of flashes or heard a bunch of talk in training camp. He has had maybe a couple highlight catches. But again, Rondale Moore has a lot to show in this game that I want to see from him. I think that coaches want to see from him. At the same time, you have players like Thayer Thomas, Lucky Jackson, who's been impressive as well in training camp. And then also Jashon Jones. We want to see what Jones has. And he's been making some big plays too, where, these guys have legitimate opportunities to make this team. And then, of course, we want to see what Silas Bolton has. Silas Bolton, again, him and Rondale Moore also have that kick return aspect to them. Now, yes, you can say Ty Felton does as well. But again, as far as making the team, both those two players are connected with their ability to be able to either do kick or punt returns. So that's something to watch as well when we get into the special teams game. But again, 5 and 6, who is that going to be? These preseason games are going to be crucial. And we need to keep an eye on it, see who's getting those reps, and see who can really come up with the big plays and not drop the ball. Now, all through training camp, we've had the defensive flex, and they've really been showing off their muscle in training camp. And what I mean by that is they've been talking trash to the offense because they have been the dominant side of the ball through most of training camp. And usually the defense is ahead, yes, but they've been making plays all through training camp. Now, I don't expect us to see a lot of starters. And again, you've seen injuries happen. We had just a slew of different injuries last night, of course, ending the Lions game. Lions and the Falcons both agreed to step away from that game, let the clock run out, and really just avoid other injuries and out of respect to their fellow brother on the field who's down. So we need to make sure that we're coming out of this game with minimal injuries, hopefully none at all. But that defensive flex. So our interior linemen that we want to see out there, I want to see what Levi Drake Rodriguez has, Jalen Redmond, who was impressive last year, and of course Tyrion Ingram Dawkins. He's had some flashes throughout training camp, and Taki Taimani. Let's see what they have on the inside. Our linebacker spot, Gabriel Murphy, Tyler Batty. We want to see what they have as well. Rookie Kobe King. And then you also have a battle going on with Bo Richter trying to make the team. And he was a stud in training camp last year, and kind of a shocker to not make that initial 53 roster. And then, of course, we may not see a lot of our stars in the cornerback room, but who's gonna be that tail end in our quarterback room? That's something that we want to take a look at as well. We want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on our cornerbacks. Mekhi Blackman, probably going to get quite a bit of game time. Nudie and Dwight and Blutherin. And then, of course, we want to make sure that we see in our rookies that they're getting out on the field, making some plays as well. But Jeff Okudah is probably going to be that third cornerback. And he's shown a lot in training camp. There's been a lot of talk of just how impressive Jeff Okudah has been. So I'd like to see it on the field. I really don't think that we'll see a lot of Byron Murphy Jr. or even Isaiah Rodgers out there. They're both veterans and pretty much locked into those CB1, CB2 positions. Okay, so what else do we need to take a look at when we look at this game today? I would say special teams. Will Reichard still has a lot to show us. Will Reichard has had some inconsistencies, and we want to make sure that Will's more consistent, not in the extra point game because he has yet to miss an extra point, but with field goals. So we're going to keep an eye on the field goals. He has no competition in camp, but again, as Vikings fans, we when you say the word kicker issues, we have a little bit of a relapse. So hopefully we have no kicker issues tonight and or this afternoon, and then that punter battle. We talked about it last night. Brett did. Oscar Chapman. So Ryan Wright, his job could be on the line. Hopefully we get to see a little bit of both, because I'm not just okay with settling with Ryan Wright just for the fact that, hey, he's been the veteran here the last few years, and he just hasn't shown us the ability to really flip the field and pin the opponent. So I want to see that today. I want to see that he can actually make a big step up from where he has been, especially last year. I'm just looking in the comments. If you guys have any comments or any reactions that you want, if you're excited about the game, if you're going to the game, give a shout out. Please send us pictures if you got at the game too. I'll be in the airport. So again, unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to record and watch some of the game back because I might be on a flight. But please send in those pictures or any of your comments that you have too. And make sure that you follow us at Fantasy 15 Facebook football on X. That's our new fantasy football show that we have coming out. And again, that fantasy football podcast, we're going to have that coming out here soon, to where you're going to be able to see our fantasy football roster for the first time. We'll have our kickoff show that's planned for August 20th. We're going to have your top 15 charts at each position to make sure that you make your week 15 playoffs all in 15 minutes each week. And then we'll also have some guests on going into a portion that we call overtime. So make sure that you tune in and watch for that. Again, I just want to shout out to our sponsors and thank them. That's Badass Wood Art, and then Homage. Homage right up in the right corner. They have the link up there for That's Badass Wood Art. Make sure that you use our code VC15 and then use our link for Homage as well. We want to thank our sponsors, and that's one way that you can support us. Make sure that you're reaching out and liking our different TikToks that we have, and all of our different links that we have down in the bottom left corner: YouTube, Facebook, and X. Follow us on that. We're pushing out content all the time for you guys, and looking forward for a good game. You'll probably see Brett or I, or a combination of I and Brett and maybe Austin in there too, for a post game to talk a little bit about what we saw in that game. And hopefully we get to see everything that we wanted to see in this game. But I have a feeling that we'll come away with this with some good thoughts and some things that we probably wish we would have saw for next week. I don't see any comments right now, but I want to thank you again for watching. And next time we'll tune in and we'll talk about what we saw from the Vikings and the Texans. Skol Vikes. Until next time, see you guys.